Peace. Here we go. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 356. My name is Mel Popeye Moss. My co-host, Mel O.G. Robbins. We are with Sons of Liberty Riders MC, and we are sponsors of this program each and every week, along with a little help from our friends. And hell, Mel, I got through every bit of that without making a mistake.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Anyway, let's start out, Mel, with some exciting news. Are you ready?
My heart is palpitating.
I'm telling you, on September 21st at 11:30 a.m., we will be having a Tarrant and Parker County Ride and Rally. That's right, we're going to be doing two in one day. We're going to be gathering up in front of the Tarrant County Courthouse seeking redress from all the profiling that's going on, and in an effort to protect the innocent from being put into from being made a criminal. Because that's certainly what's happening with all the profiling that's going on and the bikers that are being put into the gang database. And Mel, you don't even have to be on a motorcycle to make it into that database, do you?
No, hell no. Our national secretary will attest to that.
Yeah.
He hadn't been on a bike for what, 2 years, 3 years?
3 years at least.
And never been in trouble that I'm aware of.
Right.
But then again, maybe he's trickier than we know.
Well, who knows? But I mean, he does have a security clearance. That's all I'm going to say about that. But go figure. Go figure. And you don't get those because I've had security clearances through my military career, through my aircraft career. I've had those things, and you don't get those by being a criminal. Period. But Mel, let me say this. We're asking everyone, all clubs, to participate in this. Whatever animosities you might have with each other, you put it to the side and participate in this anti-profiling rally, this bikers' rights rally. Because it's in our view as constitutionalists who believes in the Constitution, who believes in our rights as American citizens. We believe that there are laws that are allowing law enforcement to violate the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. And it's absolutely incredible what we're seeing going on, Mel, when we have these sheriff's departments, police departments, arresting motorcyclists, arresting bikers, arresting club members for crimes such as being across the white line, 7 miles over.
Failure to signal.
That's right, failure to signal. I mean, the list runs on and on of minor traffic violations and bikers being taken to jail for it. It certainly doesn't happen with the general public, does it, Mel?
No, as a matter of fact, you can only imagine what the public outcry would be if they started doing that to cagers.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, it would blow the top off the state capitol building. But you know what's really disturbing about this whole thing is the fact that Yeah, for right now, it seems that the preponderance of profiling and crap going on with guys getting arrested, being in the criminal gang database, getting their weapons confiscated, up on charges for illegal carry after their CHL has been nullified, being arrested for failure to signal, being told that, you got a cut on, so, you're going to have to take what comes with that. And it appears right now that it's mostly red and gold and support clubs.
Right.
And I'm sure that's fairly true. However, we're starting to hear about a lot of other clubs that are being bothered, and individuals. And
Yes.
if you look at history, when you have the police, and let me say, or a police state, because that is pretty much the way law enforcement seems to be going, is, Texas is turning into a police state. A lot of other states are turning into a police state with all these constitutional constraints, or, we're being stripped of our freedoms. We're slowly becoming a third world country and police state. But what's going to happen here, if you look at history repeating itself, and I had a history teacher in school years ago that used to talk about the wheel of history. And history has a habit of repeating itself. It's like a revolving wheel. You got the rise and fall of civilizations, but they all seem to go through the same steps. And you start looking at countries like Nazi Germany, Russia, the warlords in Africa and in the Middle East. They'll start to come after a group. They'll single out a group of people, which seems like a natural thing to do. Say, okay, well, maybe the perception is these are bad guys and, they need to be gone after. But the problem is it doesn't stop there.
Right.
First of all, they start feeding all the propaganda and BS that this group of people is bad. And I'm talking about not just today, I'm talking about in the past. They tried to make it out like Nazi Germany. The Jews were dirty people. They stole your money, and they all they did was conspire ways to cheat you and things like that. And that's how they get this on. It's a propaganda machine. And you get the same I see the same propaganda machine going on today relative to bikers. They're trying to zero in on a small fraction of bikers, make them look bad, and it's like a cancer. It's going to grow. Trust me, all of you bikers out there, you may not have a patch. You may be wearing a hog patch, a mom and pop, a red and gold, a support. I don't care what it is.
Yes.
They're eventually going to come for all of us.
Yes. And that's already happening, Mel. That's already happening. We've seen it again and again with the reports we're getting, with the investigations we've been doing since Twin Peaks. That's over 4 years. We've watched this evolve into what it is today. And Mel, I think it's amazing that they still use Twin Peaks as an example, although that was a big fail for law enforcement.
And that was a huge failure for law enforcement.
Yes.
And the judicial system.
Exactly. But they keep pushing that narrative, don't they?
Oh, sure. It's like, I just heard them talking on talk radio today. One of the presidential candidates, I think it's that gal from California. What's her name?
Elizabeth Warren?
No, that's the East Coast. I'm
Oh,
talking the West
that's
Coast.
Hiawatha. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's this gal from California that used to be a prosecutor running
Oh,
for
Harris.
president.
Harris.
And yeah, she starts talking about yesterday was the anniversary of the Brown murder in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is how politicians and law enforcement like to twist things. If you'll remember, the Department of Justice, even under Obama, conducted a thorough investigation of that Brown incident up in Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
and declared that the cop was defending his life, and that's how Brown got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Brown was not murdered, but you've got, here you go, this politician and other people, not just her, are talking about the anniversary of the Brown murder, because they try and make something look bad that's a blatant out-and-out lie.
Right.
And that's the same thing that's happening to us in the biking community.
Exactly. And there's just so many things that we can point at that were outright lies from Waco to today. It just keeps on going. They keep pushing that narrative. And we'll be talking about this as we go along here. We want to move on from Twin Peaks. We want to move on from that, but we also at the same time, we want to remember where we were, what happened, the results of it all, and the ramifications of what's happening today from that.
That's right. I think you got it 100% right there, Popeye. We need to move on. However, we cannot forget.
Exactly.
Never forget what in the hell happened there.
Right. And, use that, educate ourselves, and that's exactly what we've done, is educate ourselves and, and also investigate what's going on and what the truth is, if we can find it, because many times the truth is just buried. And so what we had out of Waco was by law enforcement, was a whole bunch of nothing. And they actually, in the end, ran away from it all, is what they did. They couldn't get out of it fast enough because it was falling apart on them and they were getting caught in their lies. But Mel, let's push it forward to today. And what we see going on, like I said, with all the profiling, with all this putting people into the database, and like I said, we've already found that there are people in that database that don't belong in it. And, they're making criminals out of innocent bikers on the side of the road, Mel. On the side of the road.
Absolutely. The police have the power to immediately put your name in the gang database if they think it belongs there.
That's right. And once your name is there, you're pegged as a criminal, right?
That's right. And the only recourse you have is to spend a hell of a lot of money with an attorney.
Exactly.
Because it's not going to go away without you trying to get it taken care of.
And then if you don't have an attorney, your next recourse is to join us. Join us in a rally like we're fixing to do. Because we're going to seek redress from our politicians that created these laws that allow this stuff with no checks and balances. whatsoever, as far as I can tell, Mel. That last request I sent in hasn't been answered yet. I had one answer. I didn't like the method they used to send me the answer. So I asked them again. I said, for the second time, I'm asking you if I'm in a gang database, any gang database in Texas, because there are multiple gang databases. I've yet to receive an answer, Mel. That's been 3 weeks. 3. And
probably caused them to have an oh shit moment.
Yeah, and I've had other people tell me that they have not received answers either, and it's been over a month. So have they decided they're not going to answer these requests? What's going on? What recourse do we have if we discover that we're in that gang database? Who do we turn to? And it's in my view, we can't trust the gatekeepers of that database. And we're gonna prove it going forward. We're gonna keep collecting the data, and we depend on you to get it to us. Like we say, ride, record, and report. And join us at this rally on September 21st. We'll be gathering at the Tarrant County Courthouse at 11:30 a.m. It'll end at 12:30 p.m. And then we'll take a 40-minute ride. This is going to be fun, Mel. We're going to take a 40-minute ride out to Parker County. And we're going to seek redress there too. Now, we might tie up traffic. Matter of fact is, we plan on tying up traffic. Unless the sheriff's department decides they got to help us out. What do you think, Mel?
I think, first of all, I think we're not getting any answers on the crime database because we've caused them to be concerned.
Yes.
They're starting to get a lot of inquiries, and they may be coming to the realization that their database is not in order, and the shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
So that's what I think there. I think relative to Parker County, I think it's going to be upsetting as hell for them to have any kind of a rally going on in their territory.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be exciting. It may well be one of the most exciting rallies we've had.
I think so too. Remember, it is our constitutional right to rally, to seek redress in front of these courthouses. And if there's any interference, we want you to ride, record, and report. Once again, it's your constitutional right to do so. I've done many of these rallies since I retired in 2004. I've done many of them. Never pulled a permit. And really, for the most part, Mel, have never really had any problems. At our rally in Milam County, after the sheriff's department came out and talked to us, saw how well behaved all the bikers were, and said, I don't see any problems here. Continue on. And that's exactly what we did. And you know what, but Mel, we've yet to have a problem. And if we do have a problem, it's going to be some kind of outside agitator, maybe a law enforcement dude himself. But I don't know that they want to go there and get caught at it. Just my opinion.
You mean like the supposed bomb?
Oh yeah.
Planted in
that
Waco?
Yeah. I remember Sergeant Smith said to me, or Captain Smith said to me, he said, we're going to get blamed for that. And I said, you damn right you are.
Yeah.
After I was stuck there for 4 hours over that lunchbox. But that's another story. Look, you guys, you join us. It's going to be posted on Facebook events tonight at Sons of Liberty Riders MC. Make sure to go there and RSVP, even though we know people hate to RSVP. But it does, when you do RSVP, it gives us some figures for us to plan with. But I have a feeling, Mel, this one's going to be well attended. Just because
it needs to be.
Yeah,
it really needs to be.
Just because of where it's at and what's going on. Because like we pointed out, bikers are being arrested for the silliest of things. And we're gonna do what we know to do.
Unless we push back, it's just going to keep getting worse.
Oh yeah. We have to point it out to the public. I mean, they've been vilifying bikers for the better part of 70 years. But I mean, yeah, they've been vilifying us for the better part of 70 years, since the 1% thing started back in, what, 1947? Out in California. So it's been a drum beat. It's been a drum beat. And I guess part of that's our fault for embracing it and not taking up for ourselves. You know, I know why that's done, but it's still at the same time, now it's causing us problems because of their ability to vilify without somebody fighting back. Well, until now. Now we're going to fight back because there's certain things, certain aspects that are just not true, and we're tired of the lying. We're sick of the lying. And the thing about it is, Mel, you know, bikers really just want to be treated fairly. Want to be treated like everybody else. They got families. They got jobs. They're not running up and down the highway here robbing banks and shit. Just not happening. So we've got to inject some truth into a sea of lies. And that's the way I see it. I think there's a lot of people out there, Mel, that agree with us. A lot. And, you know, God forbid your family gets sucked into some of these traps that is being set by law enforcement and the courts that collude with them. I mean, man, we couldn't believe things we were finding out about Waco when we started digging into it. And we do believe that every county courthouse in this state is a carbon copy of what goes on in Waco. And it's got to stop. And Mel, I guess number one, you start with the prosecutor being as concerned about the innocent as he is about the guilty, he or she. I mean, I would think that the last thing they want to do is send an innocent party to prison for a very long time. But they were damn sure trying it in McLennan County, weren't they?
I'm not so sure they care.
Well,
not so sure they care.
That's exactly right. You know, Mel, and
it's all about stats and you know, how many convictions they can get, how much occupancy you can get in these private prisons anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten pretty convoluted.
You know, Mel, I was absolutely shocked, just shocked when I found out that Podunk Jail out there in Parker County is run by the LaSalle Corporation. I mean, that raises all kinds of red flags. Especially when they're taking bikers to jail for nothing. Like they did just here a few weeks ago when they tell the biker that, hey, I'm fixing to take you to jail as soon as you pull out of here, a Chevron station. I mean, man, what the hell was that?
Well, you know, lest we forget, we know it's written in a lot of these contracts for these private jails that the counties have to guarantee a certain occupancy rate. And if it's not there, then the county has to pay money to the private enterprise to make up for that lack of occupancy.
Yeah, you know,
and a lot of people don't understand that.
You know, Mel, I wouldn't think that Parker County, which is west of Fort Worth, has that much crime going on that they needed a private entity to run their jail. Come on.
Yeah, usually, you know, it's been demonstrated in the past that private enterprise usually is a little more efficient, you know, at larger enterprises than government, being able to take care of bigger issues. But you're right. I mean, for something as small as that, what are they thinking? Privatizing?
Well, I'm hard pressed to think that they have that much crime going on out there, and there's certainly got to be great pressure to keep the jail full, or at least to the occupancy rate they agreed to with the LaSalle Corporation. We'll have to see if we can get a copy of their contract and see what that occupancy rate is there in Parker County, and see if the crime rate matches, and there's great pressure on them to go out and arrest people for stupid things, like being over the white line, like no turn signals. And you know, the bikers, that just provides easy targets because of CCP 61.02. Hey, look, here's a way for us to keep the jail full and make some money for the old Charges Wrecker Service over there. Former deputy. I mean, if those aren't red flags, I don't know what is. Just saying.
Well, it's just like I've heard several comments about this Jeffrey Epstein thing, where
Uh-huh.
he supposedly committed suicide. And it's remarkable that the state of affairs for our society is such as it is today, that the minute that happened, everyone was kind of a wink, wink, nod, nod situation.
Right.
Some people chuckling about it, other people saying, well, waiting to see how long it was going to take for that to happen. And then other people are coming out with statistics that over 40 people that were close associates of the Clintons have managed to die by suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Or some kind of a violent crime through the years. And it's the complacency of where society is today that's the most disturbing.
Right.
Everybody's complacent. It's like, well, we kind of expected that, or that can't really happen to me. But yet, here it is, crumbling all around you. I mean, they're talking about invoking red flag laws.
Oh, yeah.
The Lord, you name it. You got the bikers being profiled like there's no tomorrow. And nobody's getting that excited to bring out the torches and pitchforks.
Yeah. Well, we better get excited about it because, if law enforcement was to ever get their way and was able to take patches away, that, these constitutionally protected patches, if they were to be able to take them away, that would mean law enforcement, how are they going to know who's who? What are they going to do then, Mel? Are they going to be stopping everybody on two wheels? Everybody on a Harley?
That's what'll start happening.
That's where we're headed.
You can see it on the horizon.
And some of that is already happening. When you find out a biker was stopped walking back from a McDonald's. A slickback was arrested. Not arrested, profiled. I mean, it happens. Because there are many law officers, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And maybe they're just being nosy, seeing what you're doing, even though you're perfectly legal walking down a street from McDonald's or wherever. Just left a birthday party. I mean, the list runs on and on. It's jaw-dropping, Mel. It really is, and it was for the state legislator I talked a little over a week ago. How's this happening? That was the question. So, participate, everybody. Participate. This rally is going to be well attended.
They're really pretty easy to participate in.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is there. All you got to do is show up, and it's like what happened in Milam County. The police came to find out what was going on, but everyone was very well mannered. And they didn't see any issues, and they said, hey, just continue what you're doing. They didn't have a problem.
Yeah. And when we told them what we were there for,
In fact, we kind of found it remarkable. They actually knew the DPS officer that was involved in the situation, and actually were chuckling about it.
Oh yeah. Just it kind of
Because
showed
they
us
figuring for an idiot to begin with.
yeah, kind of showed us the kind of respect they had for him, which was none. But and you find those situations, you know, they want to know who's doing it. And like that Garland police officer on that video we posted the other day, where he said, I don't understand why you guys are getting so much attention. With that statement, we agree. Because it shouldn't be happening. The facts on the ground doesn't match the hype put out by law enforcement. That's much like, you know, Mel, the DPS, who's famous for hype. 800 Mongols coming to Fort Worth. Hide your women and children. Banditos coming to Waco. None of that was ever true. None of it. Yet they put it out there, and they continue to do it again and again and again. And every time they've got it wrong, we point it out. Hey, this is not true. This is a lie. This is hype. This is part of a narrative. Period. And that's what we see playing out night after night, weekend after weekend, in any events that go on around the North Texas area and around the state. Houston, Austin, El Paso included, San Antonio. The list runs on and on. It's a campaign of harassment. And in my view, what do you think, Mel? You know, nobody's going to go away. No club is going to go away. That's not going to happen. No matter how much they harass us. It's not going to happen. And we will fight back politically. And that's what this is all about. Bikers' Rights Ride and Rally. We'll be meeting at the Tarrant County Courthouse, 11:30 a.m., September 21st. And then after we wrap up there at about 12:30 p.m., we'll be making a 40-minute ride out to Parker County. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Hey, if you like riding in a pack, this is the place to do it. Mel, that's about it, buddy. We're wrapping up.
Okay. All I got to say is everybody participate, be safe, and we'll see you there.
That's right. Ride, record, and report, everybody. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Have a great evening. Ride safe. Bye-bye.